Apollyon is a criminally overlooked character when discussing some of the best antagonists gaming has to offer. She's a cunning, fearsome warlord with a complex yet flawed worldview. She wants a world where the strongest thrive and the weak die. She seeks to achieve this goal by causing an endless war between the factions in Ubisoft's game, For Honor. Before diving into why I believe Apollyon is such an underrated antagonist, it's important that we dive into who exactly Apollyon is and what she wants. Apollyon is the warlord and leader of the Blackstone Legion, a faction of knights she created by recruiting those who believe in her cause and philosophy, or those whom Apollyon deems wolves. Apollyon opposes the emerging peace between the three major factions, the Knights of the Iron Legion, the Vikings of the Warborn, and the Samurai of the Chosen. She believes that peace breeds weakness while strength is the ultimate virtue. She wishes to separate the strong, the wolves, from the weak, the sheep, to create a world where wolves thrive. In her eyes, the path to achieve this vision is through endless war and conflict, and so her goal is to spark an endless war, ushering in the era of wolves. Given Apollyon's worldview, it only makes sense that she considers herself a wolf. She's possibly the strongest of them all. Apollyon's mix of elite combat prowess and masterful strategic thinking makes her a terrifying presence from the moment she's introduced. Her introduction cutscene sets the tone immediately.
Apollyon.
Do you know what kind of creature waits for its own slaughter? Sheep. Sheep. Welcome to the Blackstone Legion.
She effortlessly takes down multiple enemies, doesn't flinch in the slightest to a literal stab wound to the abdomen, and then proceeds to slaughter those sheep who surrendered, viewing their surrender as weakness. This scene gives me chills every time I see it. It firmly establishes her as a relentless force, not to be taken lightly. From that point on, there's a heavy tension every time she's on screen. Though not quite to the same extent, her presence somewhat resembles Homelander's from Amazon Prime's hit series, The Boys. There's this lingering feeling of dread and fear over what she may do next and who, if anyone, can stop her. However, her combat prowess alone, though terrifying, is just one piece of what makes her so menacing. Apollyon has incredible knowledge of the world of For Honor, so much so that she is the chosen narrator for the game and its observables, which are bits of lore drops throughout the campaign. The decision to have Apollyon's voice actress, Catherine Kidd, who is absolutely incredible by the way, narrate these is clearly a deliberate choice by the writers here. This is a clever way of showing the player the vast knowledge Apollyon has of the world around her.
Ashfeld. I was born here, out in the scrublands. 20 years ago, the Iron Legion had been on the verge of losing it to the Vikings entirely. Now, my Blackstone Legion had taken it back. A millennium ago, Valkenheim was the site of a vast Nordic empire. The earth swallowed them whole. Now, in places, the rains slowly reveal that past. What else lurks beneath the soil, I wonder? The waters of the mire rise and fall. Solid ground shifts and moves. Every attempt to build permanent structures there has resulted in disaster.
Her insight about the world allows her to masterfully manipulate the factions, brewing conflict and furthering her plans for endless war. This combination of elite battle prowess, strategic manipulation, and deep world knowledge makes Apollyon terrifying. These traits, however, aren't just tools for war and fear-mongering. These are extensions of her belief in the survival of the fittest, a philosophy she embodies and takes to its most extreme form. As I mentioned earlier, her goal isn't power or conquest. It's to allow the strongest warriors to survive and prosper over the weak. Here's an example of her praising what should be an enemy for his ruthless success in slaughtering 40 of her men. She values this strength more than anything.
Do you know how to tell a predator from prey? You can't, of course, unless you see them in war. 40. Well done.
Apollyon's character isn't just an adversary for the protagonist to defeat either. She represents an entire ideology that the factions are opposing, an ideology that is deeply rooted in nature and social hierarchies. The strongest, most dominant force typically stands above the rest, successful. This ideology once again proves itself to reign true, however. At the end of the story, Apollyon is defeated by the Orochi, who claims that they will have peace. However, Apollyon in her dying words gloats to the Orochi that he is wrong and she has already gotten what she wanted: war.
It's over. We will have peace.
So, what happens now? You all just go home? You came into my home. And you brought your armies. What did you think would happen? Peace? That isn't how the world works. You've forgotten what you are. All I want is for you to admit what you are. All of you. My wolves.
7 years after her death, and the factions are still at war with each other, with the heads of the factions gathering to discuss the fleeting possibility of peace.
We've shared our stories, like your Lord Warden requested. Now, why are we here?
Peace. Even if it were possible, we're no peacemakers.
Is it an unworthy goal?
Well, no, but...
It would have to start with us.
We will die in this attempt. You know that. But it would make a worthy tale.
Fast forward to the current season of multiplayer, and the war still goes on. The factions endlessly take and defend their territories from one another. Legends of the strongest warriors the factions have to offer emerge through the war, and peace remains an unobtainable dream in Heathmore. Apollyon was successful. She won. Though she may have died years ago at the hands of an Orochi who sought peace, her influence endures, rippling through the world of For Honor even to this day. It's for these reasons why Apollyon remains one of my favorite villains in gaming. Her fearsome presence, unique goals and mindset, and her ultimate success sticks with me, and I enjoy revisiting For Honor story mode occasionally just to experience it all over again. It pains me that she doesn't get the kind of recognition that I believe she deserves, because Ubisoft was cooking when they made this character. Without Apollyon, the whole concept of For Honor's multiplayer wouldn't make sense. She's the backbone of the entire story, and that is something I cannot say about most other antagonists. I think there are a few reasons why Apollyon is overlooked among gaming villains. First off, For Honor isn't really known for a deep and expansive story mode. At the end of the day, it's a map-based multiplayer fighting game known for its extremely unique mechanics and unhinged player base. That's what most people think of when they think of For Honor, not its story or characters or any of its lore. Ubisoft has also just kept For Honor in this limbo of keeping it alive enough to please its fans without really pouring much effort into trying to expand the game. I know that's just how Ubi typically handles things since they see it as safer, but that doesn't stop me from hoping they'll try to expand the game eventually. Regardless, I hope this video serves to put one of my favorite villains in the spotlight for others to look into and experience for themselves if they haven't yet played For Honor's story. And if you have, I suggest you go play the story mode again anyway, with this video fresh in your mind and a newfound perspective on Apollyon. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I worked hard to put it together, and with it being my first ever video essay, I know I have plenty of room to improve, and would love to hear any advice you guys may have in the comments below, along with suggestions for my next video essay. I want to make more of these, so let me know what games, topics, or characters you want me to explore further. It doesn't necessarily have to be For Honor either. So don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified every time I upload one of these videos. And big shout out to my members listed on the screen now. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.